Welcome to this Aderyn screencast. Today we're going to talk about the Aderyn Planning Viewer System. So what is the Aderyn Planning Viewer System? Well, it consists of a number of components. To start with, it consists of the main Aderyn website, aderyn.lercwales.org.uk. It also consists of the COFNOD eMapper system, and finally there's the emails that bolt the whole system together. So let's start at the beginning. How does the process work? Well, the LERCs receive planning applications from the various unitary authorities. Once they receive these applications, they're loaded into the Aderyn system and they're assigned to a planning group. That group defines the buffers that are searched for species records, and the group is chosen based on the potential environmental impact of each planning application. Once the group's been assigned, the application is processed, the species records are extracted, and finally emails are sent out to all the interested parties so they can then view the application and view the species records and then comment on the planning proposal. So how do you register to get access to the Aderyn Planning Viewer system? Well, to start with, talk to your local Environmental Record Centre. If they're happy for you to have access, then go to the Aderyn website, aderyn.lercwales.org.uk, and on the home page, look for the links on the left-hand side to log in and to register. Click on Register, you're taken to a simple form where you can put your details in, select a password, and create an account for yourself on the Aderyn website. At that point, the account is created but doesn't have access to the Aderyn Planning Viewer system. So now, go back to your local Environmental Record Centre, give them your username, explain you've created the account, and they'll be able to give you access to the Planning Viewer system and also allocate you to a unitary authority. So you'll receive the planning applications for that particular unitary authority. Once you're registered with the system, you'll start to receive these emails. So whenever the local Environmental Record Centre processes the planning applications for the unitary authority that you're linked to, you'll receive one of these emails. So let's go through a few of the details contained in this email. So at the top here you'll find some information helping you understand the information below. One of the important things mentioned here is the fact that we group our species into 4 groups. So we have priority species, category 1, species of conservation concern, category 2, locally important species, category 3, and we also have a category 4 for all other species. It also mentions that RA, which we'll come to in just a moment, RA species are red alert species or priority species that are within 100 metres of the site. Also the fact that S stands for sites and H stands for habitats, and we'll come back to those in just a moment. Down below there you'll see the actual applications listed in alternating colours of grey and white. Each application you have the information about the application number, the date of the application, the planning group that it's assigned to. So the higher the number, the larger the buffers and the greater the potential environmental impact. You'll also see the grid reference and any location information. Beneath that you'll see the actual proposal itself, so what the actual application is for. Across to the right you'll see a number of columns, so we've touched on these already. So red alert or RA are species, priority species that are found very close to the site. Then you have 1 is category 1 species, 2 category 2 and 3 category 3 species. So the numbers they're indicating the number of species records that are found within the buffer. It's worth pointing out that each of these categories may have different buffers, so priority species would generally have a larger buffer than maybe species of conservation concern or locally important species. Also you'll find here the number of designated sites that have been found within the largest buffer and also the various types of habitat that have been found. Finally, the final column there allows you to actually view this planning application. So hopefully by the time you've read the information contained on the left hand side here, you know enough as to whether or not you'd like to have a look at the application in more detail, which is what these buttons allow you to do. So the top button there allows you to view the application and all the species records using the Aderyn Planning Viewer system. The bottom button there, that uses the COFNOD eMapper system. So let's take these systems one at a time. Let's first of all deal with the COFNOD eMapper system and see what that looks like. If we click on the lower of these 2 links, this will load that particular application within eMapper. When you go to eMapper and you load that application, you'll see a little information box here giving you some details about the system. Also at the bottom here you'll have the option to take a tour. If this is the first time you've used eMapper, that's well worth doing, as it explains the way you navigate around the tool and all the very many features of eMapper. Otherwise, click on Go to Map and you'll see there the map of the application and all the species records. The tool is very easy to use. You can simply click on one of the coloured blobs on the map there and you'll see all the species records for that particular grid reference. You can click on a record, view the record and see it down the bottom here. Other things you can do on the right hand side here include displaying grid reference labels. You can also display the species by category. And down the bottom here you can also visualize the various designated sites that have been found within the application buffer. Let's now look at the alternative method of viewing this planning application, and that's using the Aderyn planning viewer built into the Aderyn website. So back on the email, let's now click on the top of these two links to load it using the Aderyn planning viewer system. To view the application on the Aderyn website, you need to be logged into the website, so if you're not, the system will prompt you to log in. Once you've done so, it will return you to the application that you've selected. Once you're viewing the application, you'll see at the top here the application number, and then you'll see a number of tabs. The first tab is the Overview tab, telling you a bit more about the application, and also on the right hand side here you'll see a map with the buffers that have been searched visualized there for you. Then you'll see a number of tabs giving you access to the species records. So you've got red alert species, priority species, species of conservation concern, and locally important species. And as you click on these, you'll see the various species records. If you click on a given record, it will expand and tell you a bit more about that record, the date of the record, who saw it, and whether it's been verified or not. The final two tabs are a little different. These show you the designated sites that have been found within the largest of the buffers. So for instance, on this application we've got some ancient woodland that's been found. And on the right hand side you'll see a toggle that allows you to display that particular site on the map below. So if we turn this particular site on, the system will go away, retrieve the polygons and map them below for you. So you can see those bits of ancient woodland mapped there. You've got a reset button here to turn all those layers back off again. The Habitats tab is very similar. The only difference is that you'll see in the list here you've got some particular habitats that are coloured red. So these indicate potentially priority habitats. But again, you've got a group of toggles on the right hand side and the map at the bottom. If we use these toggles, we can turn these particular habitats on and off. Again, the system will go away, retrieve the habitat polygons, and map them below for you. If we scroll down, there we go, we'll see all those habitats mapped for you. Let's just do one more. So we'll map the standing water there again, and that's been mapped for you. Again, you've got a reset button here, which turns those back off again. I'd like to show you one more feature of the Aderyn Planning Viewer system. Back on the email here, you'll see at the top a link to the index page of the Planning Viewer system. You need to be logged into the Aderyn website to view this, to access this particular page, and you can get to it either via the email or indeed once you're logged in you'll see an option here for Planning Viewer and you'll see again a list of the unitary authorities that you have access to. Otherwise on this page you can select the authority yourself. So for instance let's take BBNP here. Now this page gives you access to all of the planning applications contained within the Aderyn Planning Viewer system, not just the ones that were contained on the email that you may have received. So you can scroll down, you can see all the applications there. If there's multiple pages, you'll see links at the bottom here to work your way through all those applications. Otherwise the columns here are fairly familiar to you. You've got the application number, applicant name, grid reference, location, and again you'll see columns here for the various species records that have been returned. Finally, you'll see links to actually open that particular application within either the built-in Aderyn Planning Viewer system or eMapper. The other useful features on this page include the application's map. So with this map you can see a map of all the applications and you can scroll in here, zoom in, and you can see all those applications mapped. So maybe you want to locate an application in a particular area, well the map will allow you to do just that. The other thing you can do is use the search button here in the top right hand corner, and this allows you to hopefully find an application that maybe you're looking for. So for instance you can search by applicant name, proposal, grid reference or location. This relies on the keywords that have been supplied by the unitary authority, so it doesn't always work exactly as you expect it to. So for instance, if we do a search here for a location of Brecon, provided the application had that keyword within the location field, we'll find all those applications. So if we click on search, hopefully it's returned a few applications to us, in this case 54, and tells you here that it's filtered the applications by a keyword. Again, the applications map now has been updated, and it shows just the applications which have that keyword of Brecon within the location field. So that can be very useful for homing in and finding particular applications. Well, that concludes this Aderyn screencast. If you'd like more information or would like to supply us some feedback, please contact us at info@bis.org.uk. Thanks for watching.